Wednesday, January 12th. All right, let's take a look at the chart and see what we've got here. Well, yesterday we had a bit of a reversal of the downtrend in the market. We pushed price, up pretty much all day, and we pulled value higher than the previous day. So that was a sign that the momentum to the downside is coming to an end. And then in the overnight, we had a spike yesterday at the end of the day, and we closed inside the spike, which is a little bit bullish. And then the overnight is now opening above the spike. So in terms of spike rules, that is the most bullish scenario this morning, opening above the spike. We are also opening with a gap up. So that means that, a gap and go scenario is also in play as a possibility. And a gap and go would mean the market trades lower. We do expect some kind of counter auction to the downside when the market opens because it is net long. But once it starts to go lower, where does it find support? If it finds support at yesterday's high, which is also right about where the 20 daily SMA is, if it finds support there or anywhere above there, it is bullish. So you got spike rules telling you the market's bullish. You got gap and go telling you the market is bullish, or at least for now, gap. We'll see if it's a gap and go. And you got the reversal in the value area yesterday. So a change in value is often a change in trend. So there's a lot of indicators kind of pointing to the fact that if the market can find support around yesterday's high, we should be able to get some continuation higher. I would certainly say to get into this previous balancing area that is within range. So that would be somewhere above, say, 47.60. But let's wait and see. Order of business number one, the counter auction to the downside. Do we get it? How far does it go? Where does the market find support? If the market fails to find support by the base of the spike up, so by 47.01, you could just call it 4,700 to keep it simple. If the market can't find support by 4,700, then I would look to get bearish for repairs of the weak references. Okay, the market is open. There's a lot of weakness below us here. So I've seen the market, make a reversal and leave a ton of weakness behind like this. So it's not impossible that we couldn't just trend higher today. But if the base of that spike around 4,700 doesn't hold, I do think we start to repair at least the first of the weak references, if not more. Good morning, Cyrus and Diego. Good to see you guys. Big Ray, good morning to you. Jay Trader, good to see you. MW, welcome. Philip is here. Good morning to you. TV with the GM, good morning to you. David Glass, good morning. Steven, good morning to you. All right, well, so far, gap and go. They only got a couple ticks below the opening price. So they're starting off a little bullish here. Let's see if they can keep it going. My guess is they need to pull a little bit more down into the gap, but you know me, I do not fight momentum. That's for sure. Also, you guys may hear a whining dog or barking dog in the background. I'm dog sitting right now, and this dog is an absolute nightmare. It needs attention 24/7 or it whines. Chill out, boy. So that will probably be a hassle today. Apologies in advance for the sound of whining and crying. Come on, no. Shh. Good morning, Robo Futures Trader. 2 Manifs, welcome. Nor Auto Trader. Ninja Trader acquires Tradeovate. Really? Interesting. That's actually a good merger, I think. Overlord 3000, good morning to you. David V in the house, good to see you. Amir back with us, good morning. Lamus back with us, welcome. Overlord, yeah, the CPI was slightly higher than anticipated this morning. By a decimal point, I believe. Probably what brought in some of the bullishness. Yeah, by a decimal point. Nicholas, good morning to you. All right, so now let's see where the market, it got its little initial push. Let's see where the market finds support here. Does it have to trade back down below the opening price, or can it find support above there? If it does, I'd love to see the ticks pull back a little bit, cool off just a hair. But if we get a pullback and we stay above that open, that would be bullish. Another realization that I just had was that there's a classic Peter Resnitek trade in shorting the pass back through the opening price. So the market opens on a gap, it tries to push higher. You short it right at the opening price on the way back down, and then put your stop above the high it just made. Looking for that gap fill to yesterday's high. Ronald, good morning to you. Welcome. All right, so the market's trying to backfill that gap. Remember, finding support at yesterday's high or anywhere above it is bullish. But they may need to pull down to yesterday's high to find that support. That area is also the 20 daily SMA. Got ourselves 72 viewers, but only 18 likes. If you can find it in your heart to push that thumbs up, I'd sure appreciate it. Really helps out the channel. Took that week off around Christmas, and now I can't get my numbers back up. YouTube likes to punish YouTubers for taking a break. Cotton Dog, I mean, I don't really know that much about either of them, but from what I understand, NinjaTrader has the superior software. So probably they'll switch to using the same software for both, I imagine. Trade8 has market profile, though. Design Up, Trade8 has the best DOM in the business. Oh, really? I didn't realize that. All right, so once again, looking like a gap and go. Selling Theta. This smells like a new all-time high before we end QE and put that final nail in the bull coffin. Could be. Espacio. It's not a stupid question. What does it mean to say we hold this level? It just means that the market doesn't pass below it, right? So right now we're looking for the market to hold yesterday's high, for example, right? We've got a gap. Those often fill, so we often get to the previous day's high, but then it's very common to find support there. And the fact that there's also a 20 daily SMA right around that same area kind of just further increases the odds we'll find support. So what we want to see is if the market trades down here, that it kind of just like bounces around in here and then it doesn't go any lower, right? You can get one little dip, but you want to find support in this area. So when I say hold the level, that's what I'm talking about. Can we stay above it? So earlier, for example, I said if we can hold above the opening price, that would be bullish. Well, we didn't. We're now below it. So now the gap fill is in play. Morning, Danielle. Welcome. You also got a pretty prominent POC in the overnight, and most of the volume in the overnight traded right around that same level as well. So I think yesterday's high is good for support. Let's wait and see. Lamus, I keep this for the first hour of the day. I keep this, banner up down here at the bottom until I've got a position, bearish, bullish, or neutral. I would say right now I'm bullish, but I feel like we need to fill the gap first. So I wouldn't buy right now, but I do think this market wants to go higher. Ronald, NQ looks weak. Let's take a look. So same as ES, it's got a gap that needs to backfill. So again, I would never call a market when it gaps higher bearish. I don't feel like that's the right. Or you said looks weak. Yeah, that's true. It does look like it needs a gap fill. But it doesn't really start to worry me until it pulls down into yesterday's range. I would say NQ. I wouldn't get bearish on it unless it got below like 15,806. Scooball, NQ got its 50% gap fill. Thank you kindly. Looks like the ES pretty much got that much too. Maybe a little shy of 50%. Internals look great. Donkey says, it feels to me like it's setting up for a massive rug pull on retail. I feel like it might be a little too late for that. I feel like that would have been opening lower this morning. Yesterday would have been the rug pull. Could be, though. Let's see what happens when we get down to yesterday's high. Can we get some support? Do they buy that 20 daily SMA? Reals over feels. You could say MGI over feels. Every time when I ignore the market generated information and I go with my gut, I'm wrong. Shubho Deep back with us again. Good to see you. All right, well, I'm switching to Bullish here. They've had their chance to fill the gap a couple of times now. So I'll be looking for this node at 47.20 to hold as support if it pulls back down into here. If that breaks and we start to backfill the gap again, I'll go back to neutral until we get to yesterday's high. But that was their chance to fill the gap, and they did not need to, which is market-generated information for Bullish. Shubaho Deep, when are the inflation numbers due? Yeah, Donkey's got it. You must be talking about the consumer price index. Just looking at the NQ real quick here, I would say if they can get back above 1600, there's very little resistance until you start to get up towards those 16100 levels, where you see this big cumulative node of volume over here to the left. So like the sharpest point being like 16170. So anyway, if they can get above 1600, they can get a little pop, I think, to 16100. Pretty much same thing on the ES here. A little bit of resistance in the base of these single prints from the K period at 4740. But after that, not much resistance till we get up to like 4761. So obviously looking at the ticks now, we can see they're starting to trend down and they're below the zero line. Obviously that is not bullish. But I'm not going to switch back to neutral unless we get below the half back at this point. I'd actually even say the opening price because we got this little node just below the half back. So I'd say if we pass back through the open again, I'd be back to neutral looking for a gap fill. But until then, I'll give the buyers a chance here to wick that tick. Wick that tick. Wick that tick. Overlord, maybe I missed it. What are you referring to? Are you talking about like Ninja Trader or something? They wicked it. They wicked the tick, as they do sometimes. They love to fake you out. Get you nervous. But we've now got second day in a row. Value is higher. We do have a gap and go. So despite the slow tempo, the Bulls are in charge. Let's see how far they can push it. Overlord, yeah, I use Window Trader for market profile. Correctamundo. All right, so expecting to get a little bit of resistance up here at 47.40, where we got the base of those single prints down. But if we get through that, not a lot of resistance until the next set up there at 61. So let's see if we can get on through, break on through to the other side. Yeah, Overlord 3000. Are you a member of the Brigade? Are you in the Discord? Cotton Dog's right. It's a little bit of a tease to talk about how you got a great setup with market profile, footprints, DOM, and other charts, and not share a little image so we can see what your setup looks like. Danielle, there should be now 20 ticks without major resistance. Okay. 20 ticks, so 5 points. Yeah, like I said, I think if we can get above 47.40, that's when we'll get a little relief in the pressure. If you're a bull and you want to break the base of these single prints at 47.40, smash that like button. Give me that thumbs up. Let the market know how you feel by communicating through YouTube. Three bulls in the house. Happy to have you. Welcome to the party. Design knob. Thinkorswim would be perfect if the commissions weren't laughably, absurdly high. Yeah. Its market profile sucks, though. The monkey bars suck. But yeah, Thinkorswim's the bee's knees if it weren't for the fees. Jeez Louise. Danielle, you see 47.60 without any major resistance. Yeah, so like I said, this number right here, 47.40, is resistance, and that's we haven't been able to get through it yet. But once we do, yeah, I see literally the exact place as you. 47.61 is the next resistance, and there's very little in between here and there. Overlords in the Discord. Overlord in the Cord. Overlord in the Discord. Kim S. I see 10 to 15 more ES points higher, and we are done. I have a weekly close 30 ES points lower. I have scaled out of 75% longs. I don't know that I agree with that. I think if we get another rally, it could take us to a new all-time high. All we have is this one little balancing area above us. So essentially the idea is if we can get up into that balancing area, we increase the odds that we head to the opposite end, and then you're just a few points away from the all-time high. So I don't hate the idea. Somebody earlier was talking about maybe we just make a new all-time high, and then that's the final excess before a big break. I could get behind that for sure. But we got to wait until the day and time to worry about it. At the moment, the market is bullish. Danielle, the news coming out in 7 minutes should give a push, hopefully. Let's see. What's the news? Give us a little morsel. So same as before, I'm staying bullish as long as we stay above that halfback, but it does feel like the market's running out of steam here, that this resistance might be strong. It's decent taper at the high. Would have liked to have seen a little bit smaller number on the very top node, but it's acceptable taper. And the internals are rolling over on us, heading down. So shit is getting weak. We also print the C period here in about 3 minutes. So if that C period gets down 2 ticks below the B, I would assume the next target is a gap fill. That will become the target to the downside. And then if we find support there, we just rotate sideways. Nunez, what's the difference between market profile and volume profile trading? Really, it's not that different. Market profile just refers to combining the section that you see with the letters. Those are called TPO charts. And the section that you see over here with the volume, that's called volume profile. So all market profile is just combining those two together. So you're still doing volume profile within market profile theory. You just also have the added advantage of incorporating time, because you can see how many TPOs there are running across each price level. You know how much time the market spent at each price level. So it just gives you an extra data point. If all you were looking at was volume, you would think this area in here would have some support. But then when you can also see the market spent a bunch of time in there, it just kind of gives you extra data to work with. Zeb needs to complete the initial balance before another move. Okay. Oh boy, Diego dropping a bomb on us. He'll tell you his strategy, but you got to be a member of the Brigade to hear it. I love it. So here's an important nuance for you, for the market profile nerds out there. Normally, if the C period were to get below the B period here, I would call that cessation of the trend, and I'd be looking for the market to go sideways. I'd be looking for it to find support above the A period low and resistance below the B period high, and that the market would just continue to rotate. But the gap changes everything. Because the market is so keenly aware of gaps, odds are if we get cessation right now, if we get the C period a couple ticks below the B, which we're doing as I speak, the traders will now be looking to fill that gap. They'll be looking to get down to yesterday's high. So I would actually wait for the market to come down and find support down here before I would assume rotation. So to my mind right now, the next stop is probably going to be 47.06. That changed on us quick. the Shah of Iran. Is it better to set the market profile session to only New York trading hours, or should I include the rest of the session too? Well, the way I do it is I break it up. So I have one profile here, the one that has sort of the pink and red candles. That is just the regular trading hours for the New York session. And then the blue ones, that's the overnight. So that's the rest. Basically from 4 p.m. New York time to 9:30 in the morning is all in the light blue profile. And then the regular trading hours is over here. And because I only trade during the regular trading hours, I like to have it separated out. All right. I wish you all the best. If you're not a member of the Brigade, feel free to join. There's a link in the description. It costs $10 a month, and you get to be a member of an awesome community. Otherwise, we'll see you here tomorrow morning for all you freeloaders. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Bye-bye.